We would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay our respects to the elders both past, present and those of the future. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples as the first Australians. Our vision is to ensure the growth in community engagement, strengthen relationships and build efficiency. The goal for the barbecue is to build on the relationships among the diverse range of individuals living in the community. This increased social cohesion will empower community members to access support from our organisation and others, addressing personal and familial needs. How? By providing a barbecue fundraiser to help support lower socioeconomic areas in gaining awareness and funding to benefit them in and around their community. With the generous support from sponsors and donors like local businesses, our organisation has gathered the resources to plan the barbecue fundraiser. Our organisation is largely reliant on fundraising to support the lower socioeconomic areas. In the case of our first Community Barbecue Day, we will apply to Fairfield City Council to assist with funding under the Community Grants and Funding Program as a social initiative. Evidence gathered on the success of the initial event will provide evidence for future grant applications. People's access to financial and social resources and their ability to engage in society can be described as socioeconomic disadvantages and advantages. Socioeconomic indexes for areas are indexes that rank areas in Australia by combining various community, family, and household characteristics linked to socioeconomic advantage and disadvantage obtained in the census of population and housing. It makes use of census factors including wages, education, employment, profession, and housing. Advantaged and disadvantaged areas are spread throughout Australia. The most advantaged tend to be clustered around capital cities and selected coastal areas, whereas the most disadvantaged tend to be regional and rural areas. The diversity of resources, products, and services available to fulfill an individual's desires and lifestyle for themselves and their families can be affected by where they live. This does not indicate that all people who live in rural areas are poor. Rather, their culture and living conditions vary from those who live in cities. According to the 2016 census, individuals in the 10 most economically deprived areas were, on average, young, had high levels of housing rentals, low rental prices, and low incomes. Our proposal intends to support those living in low socioeconomic areas by getting communities involved while providing an opportunity for individuals to participate in activities. This proposal is committed to raising funds that will benefit the community and ultimately support the relationship building among diverse individuals. Allowing plenty of time in advance for the barbecue, ideally 3 months prior to the event, is appropriate, as it allows the organisation to decide appropriate food choices, activities, weather, etc. Promoting of the event widely is assisted through the use of social media and community-focused blogs. The advertising of the charitable cause will make the barbecue day more popular over time. According to HAR, businesses and events use social medias to attract consumers and validate branding recognition to benefit future opportunities. The use of sites such as Facebook and Instagram have been known to be successful in assisting events such as this, as they allow information to be more easily accessible. The barbecue will be staffed by the organisation and volunteers. There will be activities provided for children to participate in and entertainment provided by local music and dance groups. The success of the barbecue will initially be evaluated through the number of community members who engage. This can be quantified by recording the number of meals provided. Individuals will be able to sign up to complete online surveys after the event. Online surveys are a great quantitative research approach to get individuals' feedback. Participants will be rewarded for participation by entering into a draw where they can win a gift card for a local shop, and an increase of social capital drawing visitors from outside of the area will be evidenced by economic growth over time. Our organisation used quantifiable research to collect and analyse the data regarding lower socioeconomic areas such as Cabramatta. Socioeconomic indexes for areas collects data based on census factors such as wages, education, employment, profession and housing. A score is then recorded. If an area scores low, they have a higher socioeconomic disadvantage. The table in slide 7 shows the 10 most disadvantaged socioeconomic areas in Australia. These areas have low incomes, high levels of housing rentals and low rental prices. Our organisation expects to contribute to the available research by keeping records of community engagement. Through our records on the provision of meals and feedback from community members. The organisation will seek feedback through our surveys on the expected increase in social cohesion by asking the same series of questions, such as how many community events have you attended in the last 6 months, and how many community members do you know by name. This will allow a comparison of social cohesion in the community over time. Our community fundraiser aims to grow the communities of low socioeconomic areas, build positive relationships, draw visitors, find sponsors and donors, utilize social media, create a supportive and engaging community fundraiser, and create economic growth for low socioeconomic areas. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.